bizarre things is it creates a disconnection, even though you're being connected to people consistently and constantly through social media. There's a disconnection between human beings and normal behavior and learning through interaction with each other, social cues, all the different things that we rely on to learn how to be a friend and to learn how to be better at talking to each other.
I have a rule with my oldest, who's 15. He'll call me. Or even when I call him, huh. It's like this, it's like a grunt greeting.
Right. They don't know how to talk anymore.
And I'm like, hello? And so I went through this thing where like I would just hang up. And I'm like, beep, hang up. And then he would call me back, huh? and then finally I said, I just want you to have these building blocks. They may sound really stupid to you right now, but looking people in the eye, being able to have a normal conversation and be patient in that conversation is going to be really valuable for you. People will really be connected to you. You may not feel that, and you may think this is like lame and stupid what I'm telling you, but I was like, just try to do it. And then what's so funny is like, I would tell this story about like, our kids go to like, very well-meaning private school, right? And I almost think like sometimes like, again, we're not teaching necessarily kids to think for themselves. We're asking them to memorize a bunch of things. And one of the things that I worry that we've taught our kids to memorize are like the fake greetings and salutations. So on the one hand, you have what's really visceral, which is, oh. And then on the other hand, sometimes you'll see these kids and they'll get introduced to somebody, hello, how are you? It's great to meet you. And I'm like, man, this is the fakest thing I've ever seen. So you're at these two ends of the spectrum. And I would make fun of my kids sometimes because like, they would say thank you, but they would say like, thank you like the Queen. They'd be like, thank you. And I'm like, what are you doing? Who taught you that? And I was like, you were taught at school to say thank you like that? Hey, you could just say thank you.
Right.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Just look somebody in the eye, thank you.
But what concerns me is as this tech gets more and more invasive in terms of how human beings, particularly children, interface with it, and as it gets, we would just be guessing as to what comes out of AI and to what kind of world we're even looking at in 20 years. It seems like it's having a profound effect on the behavior of human beings, particularly young human beings and their developmental. How old are you?
I'm 48.
I'm 57. So when I grew up, there was zero of this. And I got this slow trickle through adulthood from when I was a child, the VHS tapes and answering machines through the big tech.
Yeah, you had the rotary phone.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
So we went through the whole cycle of it, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So you get to see this profound change in people and what it's doing to kids. And you got to wonder, like, what is that doing to the species? And is that going to be normal? Is it going to be normal to be emotionally disconnected and, like, very bizarre in our person-to-person interface?
I think that when technologies get going, you have this little burst, like it's like these Cambrian moments. You get these little bursts which are overwhelmingly positive. Like, I don't know what your reaction was, but my reaction when I first saw the iPhone, I was blown away. And I think like the first 4 or 5 years was entirely positive because it was just so novel. Like you took this big computer and we effectively shrunk it to this little computer, made it half to a third of the cost. And lo and behold, supply demand, just the number of computers tripled and quadrupled and quintupled, and so many more people were able to be a part of that economic cycle, all positive. Then you get a little dip, and the little dip is when I think we lose a little bit of the ambition of that first moment, and we get caught up in the economics of the current moment,